Have you ever met someone who never gives up? I'm talking about the kind of person who walks into the middle of a crisis, and while everyone else is panicking, screaming, or freezing up, they remain completely silent. Their heart rate doesn't seem to show a significant spike. Their eyes don't dart around. They are terrifyingly calm. It's almost unsettling, isn't it? When you look at them, you don't just feel respect. You feel a little bit of fear, not because they are aggressive, but because they possess a level of self-control that feels unnatural. And then, you look at yourself. You let a rude comment from a coworker ruin your entire Tuesday. Traffic jam spikes your blood pressure. You spiral into anxiety because of a text message that didn't get a reply. Here is the hard truth. Most people are like leaves in the wind. If the wind blows east, they go east. If the wind blows west, they go west. They have zero structural integrity. But that person I described earlier, the one who scares you, they are like a fortress. Today, I'm going to show you how to build that fortress. We are going to deconstruct the psychology of mental toughness. I'm going to give you the blueprint to build a mind so strong, so unshakable, that the chaos of the world just shatters against it. This isn't about positive thinking. This is about mental architecture. First, we have to understand why you are currently so fragile, and don't get defensive immediately. We are all born fragile, evolutionary. Biology played a trick on us. Your brain is not designed for peace. It is designed for survival. It contains a negativity bias. A study by the National Science Foundation found that the average person has about 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day. Here is the shocking statistic. Of those thoughts, 80% are negative, and 95% consists of repetitive thoughts that are exactly the same as the day before. Think about that. 80% of the software you run mentally consists of error messages on the same loop every single day. When you live like this, your mind becomes like glass. Rigid but brittle. When life hits you with a hammer, a breakup, a firing, a failure, glass doesn't bend. It shatters. Most people try to protect this fragile mind by hiding. They avoid conflict. They stay in their comfort zones. They constantly look at negative news to numb their anxiety. But the scary strong people, they didn't build a glass mind. They developed a mind powered by muscle, and muscles only grow through one thing: tension. So, how do we start the construction? The first step is a concept I call the disconnection. Right now, you are fused with your emotions. If you feel anger, you become anger. If you feel fear, you become fear. You say, I am sad. Language matters. You are defining your identity by a temporary chemical state. People with extraordinary mental strength have mastered a psychological gap. This is what Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist who survived the concentration camps, talked about. He said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies our power to choose our response. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but how do I find that space when I'm in a panic? It all starts with a simple visualization. Imagine your mind is a house. Most people have an open door policy. Any thought, any emotion, any random fear can walk in the front door, leave its dirty shoes on the couch, and start screaming, and you serve it tea. The strong mind assigns a security guard. When a thought comes in, let's say, the thought you are going to fail, the security guard blocks it. He looks at it. He checks its ID. He asks, is this true? Is this useful? Or is this just an old programming method? That is the difference. Weak minds obey their thoughts. Strong minds interrogate them. Now, let's get practical. I'm going to give you 3 methods to develop this strength. These are not fun at all. They are not comfortable, but they work. Protocol 1. Voluntary. Suffering. You cannot build a strong mind in a soft environment. If your life is perfectly temperature controlled, filled with satisfying food and entertainment, your mental resilience atrophies. You need to introduce the concept of hormetic stress. This is short-term stress that makes the organism stronger. This means taking cold showers. This means fasting. This means sitting in silence without your phone for 30 minutes. When you force yourself to do something you hate, you are physically changing the structure of your anterior mid-cingulate cortex. That is the part of the brain linked to willpower. You are callousing your mind. You are teaching your brain. We don't do what we feel like doing. We do what we decide to do. Protocol 2. The zero reaction rule. Practice this for the next week. When something bad happens, you drop a glass, someone cuts you off in traffic, the Wi-Fi goes out, you are forbidden from reacting for 5 seconds. No cursing. No sighing. Don't roll your eyes. You just stare at the problem. In those 5 seconds, you are killing the neural pathway of victimhood. You are training your brain to assess rather than emote. This is what makes people scary. When everyone expects you to explode and you just stand there, you become the most powerful person in the room. Protocol 3. The narrative override. Most of the time, the pain you feel isn't the event. It's the story you tell yourself about the event. You lose your job. The event is neutral. The story is, I am a failure. I'll never find work. I'm going to be homeless. That story is what breaks you. A strong mind edits the story in real time. They lose their job. And the story develops like this. This was the push I needed to start my own business. This is a pivot point. This was what the Stoics called amor fati, love of fate. Love your fate. Not just tolerating it, but using it as fuel. Now, I have to warn you, if you actually do this, if you actually develop this level of strength, you are going to lose friends. Here is what most people don't realize. Bonding in modern society is often based on shared misery. People get together to complain. They complain about their boss, the weather, the government, their partners. It's a victim club. When you stop complaining, when you stop reacting, when you look at a problem and say, okay, let's solve it, instead of, oh my God, this is terrible, you hold up a mirror to them. Your silence highlights the chaos they create. Your discipline reveals their laziness. They will say you are cold. They will say you are a robot. They will try to drag you back down into the mud because your cleanliness makes them feel dirty. Let them talk. That fear they feel, that is the sound of their ego recognizing your authority. You aren't acting scary. You are just free, and freedom is terrifying to people who are bound to their chains. Building a mind this strong is not a weekend project. It is a lifelong war against your own biology. It requires you to kill the part of you that wants to be saved. Nobody is coming to save you. There is no motivational video, book, or guru. You have to be your own savior. You have to wake up every morning and lay another brick in the fortress. Take the cold showers one by one. Hold your tongue one time after another. Handle the difficult conversations one by one. One day you look in the mirror and you don't recognize the person staring back. You see someone who doesn't need the world to be easy. You see someone ready for the difficulty of the world. That is true power. So, are you going to continue to protect your fragility? Or are you going to build something that scares the mediocrity out of everyone around you? The choice is yours. Action over motion. See you in the next video.